Hey everyone, welcome back to Taiwanese Talks, the podcast where we dive into everyday topics from the perspective of Taiwanese college students. I'm Mike.
And I'm Owen. Today, we're tackling a topic that's pretty relevant to a lot of you, especially in college, the pros and cons of drinking alcohol on the human body.
Yeah, it's something we've all experienced, whether it's at a night market, a birthday party, or just hanging out with friends. But how much do we really know about how it affects us? Let's break it down.
Absolutely. And we're not here to preach or judge, just sharing our thoughts and experiences. So Mike, let's start with the pros. What's your take?
Well, I think one of the biggest pros is how alcohol can help people relax and socialize. Like, remember that time we went to that night market with our classmates? We were all a bit awkward at first, but after a couple of beers, everyone was laughing and sharing stories. It really broke the ice.
Totally agree. Alcohol can definitely lower inhibitions and make social situations less stressful. I've noticed that too, especially at parties where I don't know many people. A drink or two can make it easier to strike up a conversation. But, there's a fine line between loosening up and overdoing it.
For sure. And that's where the cons come in. I've had my fair share of nights where I drank too much and the next morning was brutal. The headache, the nauseates, like your body's punishing you for having too much fun.
Oh man, I feel you. Those hangovers are no joke. And it's not just the next day sometimes, I feel like my whole week is thrown off. Like my energy levels are down and I can't focus in class. It's like my brain is in a fog.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Alcohol doesn't just affect you in the moment. It can mess with your sleep, your mood, and even your immune system. I remember one time I got sick right after a big night out, and I couldn't help but think it was because my body was too busy dealing with the alcohol to fight off whatever bug I caught.
That makes sense. And let's not forget the long-term effects. I've read that heavy drinking over time can lead to serious health issues, like liver damage and even heart problems. It's kind of scary when you think about it.
Definitely. But I think the key is moderation, right? Like, enjoying a drink or two with friends isn't going to ruin your health. It's when it becomes a regular thing, or when you're drinking to cope with stress, that it becomes a problem.
Exactly. And I think that's something a lot of college students struggle with. Like, we're under so much pressure, exams, assignments, part-time jobs, and sometimes it feels like alcohol is the easiest way to unwind. But there are definitely healthier ways to cope, like exercise or just hanging out with friends without drinking.
Totally. And I think it's important to be mindful of why we're drinking. Like, are we doing it because we genuinely enjoy it? Or are we just trying to fit in or escape something? That's something I've been trying to ask myself more often.
Same here. And I think it's also about knowing your limits. Like, I've learned the hard way that I can't handle as much as some of my friends. And that's okay. It's better to pace yourself and enjoy the night than to overdo it and regret it later.
For sure. And at the end of the day, it's all about balance. Like, we're not saying you should never drink, just be aware of how it affects your body and mind and make choices that work for you.
Well said. So, to wrap it up, alcohol can be a fun way to socialize and unwind, but it's important to drink responsibly and be mindful of the impact it can have on your health.
Agreed. Thanks for joining us for this conversation, everyone. If you have any thoughts or experiences you'd like to share, feel free to reach out to us on social media. We'd love to hear from you.
And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review if you enjoyed the episode. Until next time, take care and drink responsibly.